things first, we should have something called the top tray, or the adjustable top tray here. It's going to look a lot like this. Of course, remember that there should be, of course, your 4 bolts and nuts there. Our bottom tray here, depending on what size you have received with your machine, this is a 109 size, indicated by, hey, some longer cones right there, and sometimes too you can find a stamp right underneath right here where my fingers are at of what size tray it is. Of course, right in front of us here too, our best friend, the loading box. This is utilized for our bottom tray to go into right here, and as well as for the top tray to be put on top right here as well too. We can see over here that we have the lift plate that comes with the machine as well too, the adjustable lift plate. This can be moved up and down depending on what cone size we're using. Of course too, with the adjustable lift plate, we have the hex riser bolts here. We have the flathead Allen wrench bolt. Of course, the Allen wrench that should be coming with your kit to help fit those bolts. Your wing nuts, washers, and of course, not the musical instruments, but your factory reset bars here too. And let's not forget the finishing base here, everybody. Please make sure you have all these parts and components here with your Mini-RocketBox Plus, and of course the machine itself too, very important part of this. If you're missing any of these parts, please feel free to contact our client services line at any point in time, and we will help you out further from there. Welcome to how to load your bottom tray here with the Mini-RocketBox Plus. First things first, we're actually going to have to get our bottom tray set up into our loading box as such here. Now we're going to be able to put the loading box in by finding these 4 holes and lining them up with these 4 pins right here in our loading box and gently setting it down into the loading box. I typically will either use my fingertips or kind of use the pressure of my thumbs here and my fingertips to put that in as steady as I possibly can. From here, we're set up and ready to go to start loading our cones. Now, in this case, it's going to be the 109/98 millimeter bottom tray, which means I can either load in 109 or 98 millimeter cones. Today, I'm going to be working with the 109 millimeter cones, and my machine is set up at factory default for the 109 millimeter cones, so I'm ready to go. You can see we're using some zigzag 109 cones here as well too. Big thing is cone quality, everybody. Make sure that the cones look crisp, good, clean, and round. If they are not round, if they're warped, if they're watery looking, if they have any kind of faults to them or anything else like that, it's going to cause issues with filling them. It's also going to stop us from being able to move quickly with our production as well too. Think of it as like a little flat tire that gets in the way. The more flat tires we have, guess what? We're not getting to where we need to go quickly, are we? Make sure we have good cones. Next thing, when we take our cones here, now the beautiful part about the newest models, the RocketBox 2.0s here, is that they actually have, or the Mini-RocketBox Plus models even, of the cones, so we don't have to push them down with the stinking pack of cones anymore, the row of cones. We're just going to feather them in. And like such, we're just going to keep going down the line here. Now what I'm doing here with my hands too is rather important. Taking my hand again, taking the pinch of my fingertips here on the crutch and pushing it down to the bottom tray. I'm keeping my fingers on the bottom tray here and actually doing a nice little release. Same thing goes for up top here. I slide my hand to the top and kind of pull the stack away so you can kind of see this motion together here. As we do the whole entire tray, you can see that your speed may pick up, but go in a row. If you find any anomalies with the cones, if there's any issues with them or anything like that, you can see where it's going to be in the stack of cones you're pulling from, as well as where you may have some problem areas with filling. If we have cones that stick up by any means, hey, take your handy dandy metal chopstick or anything like this kind of shape and length, take the butt end of that and gently drop it into the cone to get it down a little bit further. This is going to increase our success rate and being able to not crush our cones and allow them to be as crisp and clean as possible. I'm going to finish up the rest of this tray here and show you next, hey, how do we run this?